Hey Pretty Girl Club, this YouTube video is going to be about how I gained, I guess I'm at 13K subs right now, so how I gained 13,000 subscribers and how to grow a YouTube channel, especially if you're in the same niche as me. So let's say you talk about multiculturalism, let's say you talk about decentering men, or you talk about being mixed race, you talk about pretty privilege or pretty girl problems. I'm going to talk about how I have used those talking points to grow this channel. So the first thing I did was I try to speak from experience. So speaking from your own personal experience, not only does it help other people to be able to relate to you, but also people can't argue with your personal experience. So that's another thing that I like. It's like, no, you can't argue with the fact that these are my family members, or you can't argue with the fact that somebody bullied me and this is what happened. So using my own personal story, and even if I had to change names and locations or whatever, using my own story to relate to others, that really helped me to attract the audience that I was looking for. Because if you talk about whatever's happened to you or whatever your background is, then that's going to help people to relate to you. Another thing that I do that has helped me is I don't speak from a pedestal. I don't try to talk to people like, oh, I'm at the top and you guys are just like below me or something. No, I consider myself to be more of like a guide on the side as opposed to like the person that's in the front kind of preaching to you. I share my vulnerable areas on this channel. I have shared my insecurities on this channel. I have shared moments where I have felt jealous in the past, or moments where I have, had a victim mindset and stuff like that. And that also has helped to attract an audience because I didn't come on here trying to pretend like I'm some sort of expert or trying to pretend like I know everything. And I think that one of the mistakes that a lot of people can make is they forget who got them to where they are. So like for me, I will never forget the people who got this channel to where it is. It's the people who are subscribed. So I try to always speak from a place of having empathy for the people who are watching this channel and also being relatable to them, because one thing that got on my nerves was whenever I would watch like femininity channels or hypergamy channels, they would always come from a place of my life is perfect and I've already made it. My relationship or my marriage is perfect and like you should aspire to be like me. But I'm too smart for that, honestly. Like I can see right through that because there's no such thing. There's no such thing as your life is perfect and your marriage is perfect and you don't have any struggles and you've never argued. You have argued about stuff. You have been through stuff. You have been through trauma. You do have insecurities because that is a normal part of the human experience. Another thing that really helped me was to not be ashamed of where I come from. So not being ashamed of the fact that like I've been through stuff in the past, or not being ashamed of the fact that like, for example, I've talked about how I was fat at one point, or how I felt fat, or how I felt ugly, or, having pretty privilege and then losing the pretty privilege and then gaining it back. So I have been able to share my past with the people who are watching the channel because somebody watching is going to have the same story as you. And at first I was like, nobody's going to be able to relate to my stories. I was like, nobody will care. But no, there were so many people that came on here because they could relate to everything. Like anything that I talk about on this channel, especially like the decentering men videos, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just saying that like, oh, I just read an article and like, no, usually it's a combination of my research, but also my personal experience. I have been cheated on before. I have been lied to before. I have been in dusty relationships before. I have been in 50-50 relationships. I have been scammed and lied to by guys before. So it makes it more authentic, like as far as people wanting to watch your content. Another thing that helped me to get to this point is being generous with the block button, being generous with like deleting people if I feel like they're coming onto this channel and they're being disingenuous, or I feel like their comment is extremely like unnecessary, or it's like a spam comment, or they are just coming here to argue, or if I feel like it's some guy trying to come here just to put his 2 cents in, like, oh, you should listen to him and not the creator. I don't like that, so I will delete those people because you know what? I'm not going to be anybody else's mule. I'm not the mule for random people who try to infiltrate my comment section. My comment section is not a stage for people to come and try to siphon off the subscribers or try to like rebut my talking points. If somebody wants to give me a rebuttal and they disagree, that's fine. But disagree from your platform that you spent years building. Disagree from your video that you took the time to edit and record. So, one thing that I've learned is that I cannot allow people's comments to get to me. And also, not only is my channel supposed to be a safe space for the girls that come on here, but it's supposed to be a safe space for me too. So when I wake up in the morning and check my YouTube, I don't want to wake up to a whole bunch of negative ass comments and stuff like, oh my God, this sucks. Oh, you're such trash. Oh, you should just delete yourself. You should delete the channel. And oh, I wish you weren't alive. I wish you didn't live here. I wish you didn't live in the US. I hope you get banished to another country. All this crap, like all these negative comments, I don't want to wake up to that either. So I am not afraid to delete people off of the channel if I see fit. And if I don't like how I feel emotionally with a person's comment, I have no problem removing it. If a person's comment makes me feel emotionally unsafe, or if I feel like they are trying to make others in the comments feel emotionally unsafe, then I will instantly remove it, because this is a place where this is one safe space that we have. Well, now we're starting to have more safe spaces, yay. But this is one safe space that we have where we can all talk and actually be heard. So everybody on this channel wants to feel seen and heard and validated as far as like the subscribers and stuff. And guess what? I, as the creator, also want to feel seen and heard and validated. So I don't want my comment section to become a space where people just come and like make it some sort of ratchet arguing thing. And so I think I've done a pretty good job at moderating the comment section. But another thing is, as far as my titles and tags and thumbnails, well, I actually do not do any thumbnails on this channel. Well, I've only done, I think, a handful of thumbnails on the whole channel. I don't do thumbnails on this channel because I noticed that I have a high click-through rate. And I've noticed that, by the way, the click-through rate is like the percentage of people that scroll past your video and choose to click on it. So the reason I have a high click-through rate is actually because of my titles. My titles are what gets people to click. The controversy of this channel is what gets people to click. It's not the thumbnail for me. And that's good, because I hate thumbnails. I hate designing thumbnails. I'm not really good at like graphic design. So like my banner, I don't feel like I did that great of a job on my banner, but I was like, whatever, at least I have a banner. So I don't consider myself to be good at that. And also, that's another thing. I don't let my weaknesses on YouTube hold me back from creating content. So when I first came onto YouTube, I was pretty bad at audio editing. I still consider myself to not be that great at editing, but you know what? I'm going to come on here and be me. So if somebody is looking for a Steven Spielberg level of editing, they should go to another channel, because one of my main goals was, if I want to go full time on YouTube, I need to make videos that I know I can maintain, like videos where I know I can pump out multiple of those per day. So if I'm sitting around, searching for all the perfect images and sizing every image, like I use dozens, if not hundreds of images in some of my videos. So if I'm sitting around sizing every single image perfectly, that's going to take hours, and it's going to cause me to not be able to upload as much. So I only make content where I know that I can maintain the quality of it. So sometimes I will use like GIFs and stuff in my videos, or maybe I'll do like fancy titles and fancy graphics, but I know that I cannot maintain that long term. So I set the bar for myself as a creator. I set the bar in a place where I know that I can keep doing that. So for some of you, maybe it's being faceless. Like that's another reason to be faceless, because maybe you don't want to do your makeup every day. Like I know I don't want to like do my makeup every day, or try to like do a good angle, and oh crap, the sun set, so now it's dark. Now you can't really see anything on the video. So I have learned to make it work for me as far as what type of content I can create, because my plan with YouTube was to be a high output content creator. And by the way, that leads me to my next thing. So one thing that I learned from a lot of the YouTube marketers, those are the ones who they teach you like how to grow on YouTube, how to like get more subscribers and stuff. One thing I learned is there was this guy, so it's actually Roberto Blake. He's one of the guys that I watch. Well, I watch him sometimes, but he was talking about how the top YouTube channels in every niche, they have all created about 1,000 videos or more. And so my goal when I wanted to go full time was, okay, I need to create 1,000 YouTube videos as soon as possible. And I need to get as close, well, not need to, but like I get to create 1,000 YouTube videos. And if I create these 1,000 YouTube videos, first of all, I'm talking about something that I can talk about for hours. And I'm shocked to know that people actually want to hear what I have to say. Like, that's still shocking to this day. I'm like, wow, you don't find these videos to be like super dumb and boring and like irrelevant? But my main goal was within the first 2 years of being full time, I wanted to create 1,000 videos. So at this point, so I went full time in September, October, November, December, January, February. So this is month 5. I think I'm at about 300 or so videos. But my goal is to make 1,000 YouTube videos on my channel, and then I will see like where am I as far as subscribers and stuff. But thankfully, the channel has been doing well to the point where, I was able to go full time without having to create 1,000 videos. But I just made a goal for myself of I want to create XYZ number of videos as opposed to, oh, I need to make sure that I get XYZ number of subscribers. I come from a background where I studied communications, like in college. And so part of that was learning about marketing. So I know that subscribers and followers, that doesn't guarantee money anyway. It's more so about if you have like people who are diehard fans of you. So I don't know if you guys have heard the concept of 1,000 true fans and how all it takes for you to make a consistent income to where you can quit your job is having 1,000 true fans. So let's say you have 1,000 people and they're each giving you $5 a month. That's $5,000 per month right there. So if you grow a channel to, let's say you grow your channel to 1 million subscribers, but they are just passively kind of scrolling by, they're not like diehard fans, then you're not going to be able to build an income. So what I learned was instead of having a subscriber goal, it's better for me to have a content creation goal, a content output goal, and it's better for me to be as authentic as possible, meaning I only make videos that I have fun talking about. So even if I go off my niche, so for example, when I first wanted to talk about decentering men, I was like, oh, I wonder if people are going to unsubscribe because they might think like, why are you talking about decentering men? You can only talk about mixed women and that's it. But for me personally, I really wanted to talk about decentering men. And I also felt like it's impossible to talk about colorism, texturism, featureism, and pretty privilege without discussing the male gaze. So if we can start to decenter the male gaze, that will actually help to dismantle internalized colorism, texturism, featureism, or, getting mad about not having certain privileges. Another thing that helped me on YouTube is, so I talked about the titles. So the titles are important, like using titles where it grabs a person's attention. So I saw that some people online on Reddit were like trying to complain and talk shit, like, oh, she has clickbaity titles. Okay, but that's called marketing. You have to have, well, you should have like a title that's going to make the viewers interested in your content. And so if it's clickbaity, meaning you clicked on it, then technically my bait worked. So, I mean, you're here, aren't you? So I try to use specific words and phrases in my titles that I know people will want to talk about. So for example, decentering men, not only is that topic important to me, but that topic happens to be something that people are kind of starting to talk about online. And I feel like because I have so much experience with men, as far as just dating, not so much with like sex and stuff, but because I have a lot of experience with men and because of my unique background, I feel like I can offer something to the conversation. And that's another thing that I've realized too, is that I don't have to try to dominate the conversation. I don't have to try to be the most knowledgeable in that conversation. The whole point of social media, in my opinion, is you're just adding to the conversation. You're just putting in your 2 cents. You're not trying to say, I'm the biggest expert on decentering men. I'm the biggest expert on being mixed. I'm the biggest expert on light-skinned issues. You're not saying that you're the biggest expert. You're just putting in your 2 cents. You're just adding to the discussion. So once I realized that, it helped to take a lot of pressure off of me because I didn't feel like I had to have all of these credentials and stuff, or like, you have to be qualified in order to speak about this. Like, no, I never said that I was some sort of, I don't know, expert educational channel. I'm literally here to entertain and to make you think. and I am here on YouTube because I want to inspire people. That's another thing that helped me to grow the channel was having a strong sense of why I'm on YouTube. So no, I'm not just only on here to like get paid and get my bags. I mean, yes, I do want to get my bags and stuff, but I'm also here because I want to help other women who look like me take their identities back. I want to have a stronger sense of identity for myself as well, because I know that if other mixed race women have strong senses of identity, it's also going to help me to have a strong sense of identity and to have a collective identity with other women who are like me. So this goes bigger than just making money for myself. It's like I get to express myself, I get to do my passions, but I also am helping others. Another thing that I forgot to mention is search engine optimization. So on YouTube, when you are uploading your video, there is a part where you can put tags in there. So depending on the tags you put in there, that can help people to find you in the search bar. So like when they type in pretty privilege, like for example, some of the common tags that I use behind my videos are pretty privilege, exotical, exoticals united, mixed race, multi-generationally mixed. Sometimes I might use words like psychology, sociology, decentering men. So I've noticed there's actually one channel. Her name is Exotical Dollhouse. Like, shout out to you, Exotical Dollhouse. I noticed that her channel is actually trending next to mine in the algorithm. So that's because her actual channel name is Exotical Dollhouse. So when I typed in Exoticals United searching for my channel, her channel actually popped up next to mine on the first page. So that can actually be used as a strategy to grow that channel. Like I predict that that channel is probably going to grow pretty fast because anybody that types in the word exotical or knows what that is, her channel is going to pop up on there. So you can use things like your channel name, you can use your titles, or you can use your tags to help people to find you in search. And you get to decide like, okay, what do I want people to search and what do I want my channel to pop up underneath? Okay, maybe it's decentering men. Maybe it is pretty girl problems. Maybe it is something else. Another thing that helped me to grow is realizing that there's no such thing as a competition on YouTube. Like, especially with me, like with this channel, I've never had to compete for like a brand deal or anything because I've never had that yet at this point. My income comes from this YouTube channel, it comes from my Patreon, it comes from the course that I have. That's where my income is from. So you can use your channel to make income from just the AdSense, or you can make merch. You can make a book, like write a little ebook, and then you can say, hey, make sure you check out my ebook. It's $5. You can get it in the description. You know, you can do stuff like that, and that will help you to build an income. So that's why I say there's no competition, because no two creators are the same. No two income streams are the same. If you look at women like Princella the Queen Maker, her income is from her YouTube channel. She has multiple books. I think she has like a course or something, some sort of book club or something like that, where it's like some sort of membership or something, like a monthly membership type of thing. I kind of do something similar with my Patreon. It's a $5 monthly membership. If you look at Shira7, she has an Etsy shop that she promotes on her channel. So her YouTube, like her money comes from YouTube AdSense. She has merch that is connected to her channel, like those little bags and stuff that she sells that say like no dusties and all that. She has brand deals that I saw that she recently did with somebody. She also does like, she sells the elixirs, like the colloidal silver and all that as a part of her Etsy shop. So you can start to get creative with the other ways that you want to build an income. And especially if you're not monetized yet, that can be a good source of income to kind of hold you over. Some of you guys in my Patreon and Discord were talking about building your own, you know, making your own merch store that says, where you have t-shirts that say Exotical or MGM. That's a fantastic idea. And I encourage all of you guys to do that. But anyway, those are some of the ways that I was able to grow this YouTube channel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.